So I know from a couple of others sort of experiences and my own as well that sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to sort of maintain communication between parents and between the school and things, and absolutely teachers, they do so much and they're very valuable and they have an amazing job and they do so well. But do you have any sort of tips or information on what the best ways can be to really be, you know, communicating with the school and to keep that positive communication up?
I think it's about having really good solid communication and working together collaboratively in quite a non-judgmental way. So ideally you would like parents to be able to talk to you about issues that are going on at home, and you would like teachers to be able to talk to parents about issues that may be going on at school and try and solve them together. Parents will have really great knowledge on what might be causing an issue or what might be a strength that you can build on, and the same with teachers in other situations as well. So keeping that communication open and also not judging anyone is really important. I think sometimes people hear that this child with ADHD got this, and so why isn't my child getting this? But actually we're working in a model where children have access based on their need, not on their diagnosis. And things work very differently in different schools, so it's about what the need is and then how people can work together to meet it.
Definitely. And so in regards to sort of communicating, is there, do you think, better ways or you know, the way that you can communicate, whether it be you know, through an app that the school has, or maybe emails or phone calls, or whichever ways, sort of, what do you encourage as one of the better ways to be conversing, or even going into school if possible? But some parents obviously can't, you know, it's not that accessible as well.
I think it's great if schools can be really flexible on that. I've got some parents who texting is absolutely the way that they like to communicate. They can read it, think about it, and then respond. I've got other parents who say, ring me, don't text me, but my door's also always open, so people will often just pop in the mornings. Some people prefer email. I think one thing that is important is if you're talking about something that's a concern, to not have those conversations in front of the child and not to have those conversations anywhere around other families or parents. It's really important to protect the child's privacy and their dignity and their manner.
Absolutely, definitely agree.
I might just jump in and talk about that from a high school perspective, because I know that often people have a really close relationship with their primary school, and the students have gone through sometimes for eight schooling years, and then high school system can often be quite difficult to manage in terms of communication. If the student has 7 or 8 different teachers, they might have a form tutor, there's a SENCO, there might be a learning support coordinator, there's deans at the school as well. So I think for parents often that can be quite intimidating, and it's good to find one person that you do that communication with, and a good person would be your learning support coordinator, your SENCO, or the head of learning support, or perhaps your school dean if they've made that first contact with you, and keep it with that person, and they will help guide you through the rest of your communication. Sometimes it can be quite hard as a parent sending emails out to 8 different people, and sometimes it's nice to maybe do that initial communication via phone, have some sort of personalised contact, and request to come in to have a face-to-face conversation. High school teachers often they're harried sometimes with lots of different classes, and it is good for your child to get that individualised attention and sort of raise it as a need, and be able to share some of your own experiences with them. So yeah, my advice would be find your person, and they will advocate for you as well with your other teachers.
Awesome, no, that's really good. I'm not at that stage yet, so I didn't think about the high school stage.
Yeah.
So,
Transition's really important as well, as they're moving from year 8 into year 9, or even year 6 into year 7, and intermediates are amazing places for transition. They do transition really well, and some schools do transition well, and that's a really big piece for them. And sharing that information and making those connections early is really helpful, and even requesting from your current school, I'd like to have a transition plan in place for my child, just so I know that they're getting the best start at intermediate or high school. And those connections can start early. They can be happening in term 4 with school visits, with you coming in and having face-to-face conversations with people, and just taking the stress off what can feel like a really big change for everyone.
And I'll jump in there too, because quite often, just talking about transitions, as Sarah's just mentioned, if a student, if you think your child's really going to struggle with the transition, or you know that they've struggled hugely with transitions in the past, your school, you can have a talk to your school, and they may decide to put in a request for our support, RTLB support, to help transition that student as well. So there are lots of different ways of supporting them.
And transition can look different for different students as well. So in term 4 there may be lots of opportunities for the child to come and visit the school, to meet their new teacher, to meet a tutor or their form teacher or their dean, but there may be school tours available, but there may be more formalised meetings as well. So if the RTLB service are involved, you may be invited to a couple of hui, so that your voice is shared with the current school and the new school as well. And it's helpful as a parent, because you'll get a sense of the philosophy of the new school as well. So that handover's really helpful for you, and to make you feel like you are joining that new community as well. Yeah.
Definitely, some good things. I'll just note that down. Remember for a few years' time.